Welcome to Beyond the CV, a podcast where we challenge the idea that success begins and ends with employment. My name is Liz, a Kenyan digital marketer and an online creator. Alongside me is my co-host Steve, a banker and a financial advisor.
So here we talk about money, digital skills, making money online, and financial freedom. And that is beyond anything you ever taught in school and anything that will ever be written on your CV.
Whatever you are, a student, employed, unemployed, retired, or maybe you're even tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, this podcast is definitely for you.
So if you have ever wondered whether there's anything more than employment, then you're in the right place. Stick around.
Thank you so much, guys, for clicking on this video, and thank you again so much for the love that you showed us in our previous episode, which was so special and so magical for us. We had the opportunity to go and shoot in the beautiful offices of EcoBank in the presence of the most brilliant girls in the world, Alliance Girls High School. Can you imagine?
Yes. It was a wonderful session. And what
week was it again? It was
Global Money Week.
Money Week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about money and encouraging the young people to learn about smart money talks. You know.
Yeah.
And it was such a wonderful engagement.
I loved it.
They were so brilliant.
Yeah.
You know?
We were actually surprised that they actually know what money market
Money
is.
markets.
Such things that I knew when I was actually working.
Yes.
These are things that I never knew when I was in school. Actually, they're very privileged.
Yes, and I think we are living in a very beautiful time.
Yeah.
You know, that information is really flowing. Things that people used to take a long time before they can know. Now, you know, that information is available.
Yeah.
You know, right, left, and center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And guys, we still have the goal of onboarding 1,000 of you to our community, to our closest community, so that we can able to walk this journey through together and show you step by step, give you that guidance on how you can actually have an online presence and build an income stream in the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are talking about making money online, and feel free, tag us. We challenged you to, if you have considered this journey a worth journey to walk, and you want to create something, so create that online presence and tag us along, and let's build this together. And as we go along, we're going to tell you the program that we're going to be running for the 1,000 members of our community, and what it is that is going to benefit you if you are to join this journey. So we are cooking on something, and so check us out. And we are going to be bringing you that whole everything that you need to know about that journey.
Yes. Exactly. So today's episode is quite special again, always special, because
yes, of course, we're building up.
Yeah, we are building something for you guys, something that we have built already, or we are also in the process of building.
Yes. And
so today's topic, which is episode 5, is more of building a personal brand as your new CV. I mean, your personal brand is your new CV.
Yes. So we're talking about beyond the CV.
Yeah.
So here we are trying to, can I say, destroy the relevance of the traditional CV, and telling us that we have to create this new CV, and this new CV is your personal brand.
Yes.
So please tell us, what do you understand by a personal brand?
Well, a personal brand in a layman's language is basically having an online presence. What do you want us to know you for? If I can Google you, if I can go on TikTok and search your name, or give me your handle and I search your name, whatever content you create on there will tell me everything about who you are without even meeting you. We don't even have to meet and you introduce yourself to me. I will have already known that from the time I clicked on your handles on social media.
Yes.
So a personal brand is something that you want to be known for, something you're building or something you're creating intentionally for people to know you for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are talking of something that you are going to be known for, something that you will consistently talk about.
Yes.
And people are going to know you for that particular thing. So it has to be that which people resonate with when they think about Steven, for example.
Yes.
When they think about Liz Fortune, what comes into their mind? What image are you creating out there, and what is the world knowing you for? So, and that is going to be a key door opener for you when you're talking about making money online. Because remember, what we are focusing on here is how are you going to make money online? How are you going to make money through digital skills? And these digital skills cannot exist without the presence of the internet, you see. So when people meet you in the streets of the internet, what do they know about you? What is going ahead of you? Remember that when people search your name, they need to associate you with something.
And that something is what we normally call a niche.
Yes.
So whatever you choose to talk about on your socials is what you're going to be known for. What this also does, it creates trust. It builds trust, and trust comes as a result of being consistent. So whatever thing you choose to start being known for on your socials, you also need to be consistent. With your consistency, that is what now people will start knowing you for, and they will start building trust and start trusting you.
Okay. And so you may be asking yourself, so why is it important for me to create a personal brand online, you know? And one of the things that I think about when I think about that is that one, a personal brand is going to help you to get opportunities for jobs. And here we are not talking about jobs, the traditional jobs that you know that you're
employed. The 9 to 5.
The 9 to 5. We are talking about engagements with people who want to work with you on whatever it is that you are building. You see, remember we are talking about people being creators, people being builders.
Yes.
You are coming up with something that is going to either become your business or become your service or become what you're associated with, you know. And the other thing is that you're going to be able to meet clients, you know, most importantly, because at the end of the day, you need to make money with whatever it is that you're doing. So your personal brand is what is going to help you to start engaging clients, and people start paying you for what it is that they are getting from you. We have always talked about value. So you need to tell people that when they work with you, they're going to extract this type of value from your services, from the things that you're doing for them. And so clients will, you have talked about trust. So clients will only be able to trust you if they associate you with that which they are looking for. Okay. The other way you can look at it is if you're a person like me who is in the speaking engagements or the speaking business, then people need to relate with you as a speaker, you know, so you can be able to get speaking engagements, you know, as people interact with you, right? And it's interesting how you can't just come from nowhere and people know that you can be able to speak good stuff, you know, or you can be able to make wonderful, you know, for example, we are talking about crocheting, you know, or anything else that you do. Talk of photography, talk of even, you know, building cars, for example, and you can be able to only get an opportunity to work with clients or engagements when people know that that is what you stand for, that is what you speak about, that is what you're good at, that is what you have perfected in, that is a skill that you have, and you deliver it in the best way possible. You know.
Also, before all that, the reason as to why you need an online presence before you can even think of working with any brand or any brand approaching you. There's no brand that can approach you if they don't know you. So it all starts by you doing what you love doing, being there, having that online presence that we are talking about. So the minute you're online, maybe I could use an example of a chef. You know how to cook, you know everything about the kitchen, but now how will the Reiko company, which is a big brand, a Reiko company, identify you so that they can work with you? They need to see you first. They need to see the kind of engagement you have in the internet first so that they can actually approach and identify you and approach you. right? So the online presence is the one that comes first, which now brings us to to our topic of today, that your personal brand is your new CV. Because were it not for that brand that you have created from day one, without followers, without much engagement, but because of your consistency, you grew and became that person who is actually now starting to be known by brands, so that they can actually offer you an opportunity, and a money-making opportunity at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm also looking at how you can be able to generate partnership with other people. So people who are of like mind, people who are maybe doing the exact same thing that you're doing, or a complementary service to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So until they can identify that this is a person who we can work with, then they will not know that opportunity, or rather you will not get that opportunity to work with them.
Exactly.
The other way of looking at why you need to have a personal brand is, eventually, if you're going to create a business out of what you do, then that visibility, people need to relate with you. And even the Bible says that you cannot have a lamp and then put it under the table.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to let your light shine. So that which makes you shine is your personal brand. What you can be associated with. And of course, I remember the other time we mentioned about starting even without money. But at the end of the day, you have to actually put yourself in the field, in the works, and you start building something. And as you had mentioned the other time, you can start building your presence on, as I had said, the most user-friendly, beginner-friendly to start is with TikTok. Of course, there is Instagram, and there is
Facebook.
YouTube, or even Facebook, And as you start creating something, it is important then to know what it is that you're going to talk about. And that is what you had called
a niche.
Yeah. A niche. So how do you then pick that niche, and then you start building a brand around it?
Yeah.
So we can maybe move to that step.
Yeah, so first of all, how do you pick a niche? You pick a niche by identifying who you are first. You must know who you are and what you like, what you love. Because there's no way you can start talking about things that you don't like. For example, let me give an example. If you're not a Christian, you're a Muslim, there's no way you start talking about Christianity.
Yeah, true.
Right? So it starts from you. It starts from you identifying what is your personality, what do you like entertaining, what don't you like, and that what you don't like, you do away with it.
Yes.
And focus on what you like. After identifying what you like around your personality and everything like that, now that's when you start thinking of what kind of content will I create. Do I go for the faceless, or do I go face forward? Because those two are also options to consider. Maybe you have a niche and you want to have an online presence, but you somehow camera shy. It's understandable. Or maybe you want to protect something else which is well known by you. So you will now identify, do I go faceless or face forward? Whatever way or whatever path you take, it's all good. Yeah. You only need now to know, what now do I need to do? How do I do this content? How do I start rolling the camera? How do I start talking? How do I do lip syncings? Do I do like the actual talk with your own voice? Do I do, that kind of thing? Yeah.
Okay, so there's an interesting conversation I was having with a colleague of mine.
Yeah.
And even in the employment sector, about visibility. That they actually say that visibility beats ability. Yeah, that you could be very good at what you do, but people don't know that is how good you are. So you will remain with your capacity.
You're the only one who knows how good you are.
You're the only one who knows that you are this good. But until people know how to associate that good value with you, then you'll find opportunities by passing you every other time.
Yeah.
So it is very important for you to, yes, be good at what you do, but make sure that the world actually knows that you are good.
Yeah.
Because that is the only way that then you're going to attract opportunities. In fact, someone was actually saying, and I like social media nowadays, because there are things that we never used to hear before, but now people are coming out and saying them. And someone was actually challenging the old notion that you need to chase customers. You know, like you need to be chasing customers. So he was actually arguing that you no longer have to chase customers. You just have to be very good at what you do. You put yourself out there, and customers will actually start chasing you. Not you chasing customers.
The only thing you did, you just let yourself out.
Yes.
That's the only thing you did. And then you gave them the channels of means of how they could reach you. So you start receiving emails, hey so and so, I think I saw you on this certain platform, we are talking about this and that. Do you still offer such services? Do you still have that product? So that is what you are trying to communicate by telling us that we can only know that you exist first of all, because someone in somewhere in California doesn't know that still is a human, is an existing human being. But they will only know if they see you, if they come across you on social media talking or selling what you have.
And let me give you a perfect example. And I don't know whether it is too soon to actually talk about it. But how the opportunity we had last week came about was because we started.
This is actually it. This is a perfect example.
Yes, and the reason why we were given that opportunity is because they saw us do this, and so we had already started creating this visual. This brand of ours as a podcasters, and we are out here and we believe we are doing something that is very valuable. And it's going to transform many people's lives. You know, and so someone saw that and they were able to relate it with what they were doing, and they were like, this could connect with what we want and what we you know, and that is basically what is going to happen to you, who is a good chef, you who is a good photographer, you who is a good teacher, you who is a good whatever it is that you are, you who is a good scientist, you who is a good coder. And you need to come out here and create your own online personal brand so that people start associating with you on what it is that they are looking for. You see, otherwise, if you want to wait until you're going to, I don't know how you're even going to blow if you don't show yourself.
We can't. If you're just in your house there in your village, and we can't even know who you are. We don't even know who you are. We don't know what you do, what you can do, unless we see you on our phones as we are scrolling. That's the only time we can be able to give you an opportunity to showcase what you have or what you can do. Sorry. That is now. That also now brings us to our topic of the day: building a personal brand. A personal brand is built by you yourself doing what you love doing and creating content around that. Then opportunities start knocking at your door.
All right, so let's go to a level that is a bit practical.
Okay.
You know, so what are these things that I need to do so that I can be able to create a strong brand? And so number one is that you need to have some level of clarity as to what it is that you want to be known for. Because again, you can't be everywhere. You can't build a personal brand on being a jack of all trades.
Actually, they say that a seller to everyone is a seller to none.
To no one, And so when you need to really know what it is that you stand for. And so for us here, in the context of what we are doing here, we are talking about the ability for people to create multiple streams of income. And we are not going to talk about everything and anything. We are going to focus on that particular aspect. So our chosen path is making multiple streams of income using the internet. So making money online becomes what it is that we are focusing on. And there are many ways of making sure that you're creating that clarity. Number one is to do proper research. Because again, you can't you can't be seen not to know what it is that you're saying. So you do proper research, you understand the topic that you're diving into, and you have also that passion.
Be passionate about it. Show us that you are not forced. Your wife or your kids didn't tell you, Daddy, wake up and go do what you can do on the internet. Let it come from within. Do it passionately. You'd rather not than do it as if you're being forced. You'd rather not, because if you do it as if you're being forced, you won't go far. Consistency will become so hard on you.
And speaking of consistency, is actually the second pillar of actually getting to have that, you know, that clarity.
Yeah.
So you need to be consistent. You need to show up every day. You need to show up every week. You need
even without engagement.
Yes. Even if you don't get views.
Yes.
Even if you don't get likes. Even if people don't, you know, tell you that you're doing a good job. Keep showing up.
Yes.
If people told you the stories they have had to go through for them to make it online, then you will realize that you know, you can't just post once.
You can't post once and become a millionaire tomorrow.
You cannot.
That is unheard of.
So consistency, and by consistency, it doesn't mean that you do it like 50 times a day or anything. As long as you're showing up. The other time, Liz, you guided us and you told us, even if it calls for you posting once a day, you know,
it's better than not.
It's better than not posting.
Yeah.
If your consistency will mean once a week, maybe because of your busy schedule, then for sure do it. I know there are people who do every fortnight and they are consistent, and that is basically what they have chosen to do. But so you pick what it is that works for you, and then you be consistent at it.
Yeah.
Keep showing up, keep repeating, do it again, even again, you know, until you start making money out of it. And of course, even after you've started making money, you don't stop.
You don't stop.
You continue,
because now it means that
continue.
the continuation will only mean that now you're building a very, very strong brand.
Yes.
That it will never be forgotten.
True.
It's and then that now brings us to the word legacy. You are actually building a legacy.
Yes.
Because again, this is a digital product. Whatever consistent the content creation consistency that you're talking about is actually a digital product. And as if you are with us from our first episode, we said that a digital product will never die. It actually builds you a legacy. So you will leave that legacy even to your generation,
children and children. Yeah. Then pillar number 3 is actually value. So you need to make sure that as you are building a personal brand, it is a brand that is associated with value. So someone has to look at you and whatever it is that you're talking about, or whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're promising people you can do for them, you need to make sure that people are drawing some level of value from you. So if they engage you, if they look for you and give you a job or give you an opportunity for service delivery, then there's some level of service, the value that they're going to get from the services that you give. So whether it is that you're teaching people, if you are entertaining people, if you are actually creating videos that are inspirational, or whatever work that you do, we have seen motivational speakers who actually end up motivating people to get out of their areas of self-doubt, and you can be able to help people to continuously build themselves and get themselves out of what it is that is holding them back, and it can also be whatever it is that you want to do, so make sure that you are creating value. That is how people are going to associate your name with something valuable, and then that now becomes part of your brand that people are going to associate with. All right. Then of course the fourth one is, and we had alluded to it, is visibility. So people need to associate you, people need to see you, and once that happens, then you start building trust with the people who are looking at you.
After they've built trust, after people have built trust, now they trust. Now remember, now they trust you. Yes. To even now give you an opportunity, a money-making opportunity.
Yes. And the end game of all this, after you have built your clarity, after you have built your consistency, after you have actually built value, and now people have gained trust with you, that is the only time that they can now start making you, or rather giving you the opportunity to make money from them. And they can be able to pay for your services. They can be able to call you and do whatever it is that you're doing. They can be able to buy from you if it's something that you're selling. If you have a me book, for example, if you have you're teaching music lessons, people can now trust you to deliver value to them, and they can associate with you and pay you. If it's a parent, if you, for example, you have let's say piano lessons. That is basically your
or even swimming lessons.
Or even swimming lessons, if that is the value that you're delivering to us. Or maybe let's even go to the more technical aspects of maybe you're a software developer, and people are now starting to associate the services that you offer with you, or you create websites for even big corporations. So they need to be able to associate that good service that you're promising to give with you as the person who is delivering that. And it is only at that time that people will start paying money to you, paying for your services.
And you know how this will come to life? If you don't wait for perfection.
Because
if you're there and you're just like, I have all these things that these people are talking about, but I want my videos to be perfect. I want to have the best camera that is in the world. I even want to have a drone. I want to have the best lighting. Perfection finds you on the way.
Yes.
If you sit and wait for perfection, you will never start, my friend. You will never start.
So let's talk about that person who is there. They're wondering, what is it that I can be able to begin?
Okay.
And let me tell you, you can actually start from where you are, and there are many things that you can be able to post and start building a personal brand on. Number one, you can start talking about educational content.
Yes.
Maybe there's something that you know. Maybe there's something that you do perfectly, very well. You have those skills, but people don't know that is what you do. You know? It
could be a skill that you went to school for. It could be something that you were born with, because some things are just inborn. You can just that brings us back to what I had said. Identify who you are first.
True.
What you can do, the abilities you have, and the capabilities that you carry with you.
Yes. So educational content is actually a very good way to start. Then the other one is your personal journey. Someone was saying, I heard them say, that if you have lost, let's say 10 pounds, you have been on a weight loss journey, and you have actually lost like maybe let's say 30 kgs. So let's not talk about pounds, maybe in the Kenyan setup, and so you have gone on a weight loss journey, and you have actually managed to lose maybe up to 30 kgs. Do you know, if you created content around that, then you actually are believable, because it's not going to be hearsay. You're not talking about what someone else did. You're talking about a personal journey. And that personal journey can actually be the content that is going to lead you towards creating a business.
Exactly.
So personal journeys actually make very good content.
First of all, it is trustworthy. You have built trust has gone to 100%. Because now you're showing us slides of your own self, your own body, from the time you weighed 150 kgs to now that you're weighing 60.
Yes.
It took you 2 years. As long as you've been documenting, you've been taking records of how your journey has been, you can actually even document that and package it into a product.
Yes.
And start selling it as a digital product,
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing how you can be able to create a personal brand is telling us of the lessons that you have learned in a certain journey
along the way.
So I have seen a lady who has actually built a very good channel, or let me call it a business, where she has been advising people on career progression. And basically what she's been sharing is the lessons she has learned over the last, I think, 15 years she has been employed.
Yes.
And she calls it the lessons that your employer will never tell you, your manager will never tell you. Things like what do you call them, like career killers or career builders that you'll never read in any book. Or how to handle office politics, for example. And it could also be you have a business and you've been doing a physical business, like you've been trying to tell us, the traditional physical businesses. And there are many lessons that you have learned. Things that you were never going to learn if you went to an economics class or into a business class. And that can actually now become what people associate you with. And from there on, you start creating a personal brand that then people can associate with, and people can start paying you
because you're giving value.
Remember we talked about value. Now, the other one could actually be opinions. We all think differently.
Yes.
We all think in different ways, and there's a way I look at things, my perspective and my opinion about a certain
and for opinions, let them be as controversial as
they could be controversial.
They could be any.
Because you're helping someone to pick up a different perspective of looking
something.
at things.
Yeah, I also see opinion as something that we can now start seeing you as a very bold person who is able to say something that personally I can't.
I cannot do. Yes,
it is in my mind and I agree with it 100%, but I don't have the audacity.
The audacity.
I don't have the audacity or the courage to come out and say it and say as raw as it is.
Yes.
But there you are, because again, personalities are different. So you have that kind of courage to do that. Yeah. Then we start admiring your courage. Some people will, in your comment section, you'll even start saying things like, oh gosh, I admire your courage. I admire what you're doing.
I relate with what you're saying.
I relate about 100%. Yeah.
And you never know whether that boldness of sharing different opinions that you have,
before you know it, you're called to State House to
it becomes what is going to sell you out there. So opinions are actually a very good way of creating a personal brand. That is, people are going to associate you with certain aspects of looking at life. Then lastly, there is also the demonstration of skill. I've come to realize that we all know something.
Every human being has something they know.
They know something that they do with a lot of either passion or even some level of depth. But until you tell people that is what you do, and for me, it's usually one of the things that I do very, very comfortably and very well is talking about personal finance management.
You talk about that very passionately.
Yes, I don't know where this came from, but the moment I started sharing this, and this is something I used to hear from my colleagues, that whenever you talk about these things, we tend to resonate with them. You have a certain way of saying it that people tend to even resonate with it in a very, very good way. So there's that demonstration of skill that you can take and now turn it into content, especially on the internet, and then now we start building a brand around it. And before you know it, you now have some level of mastery of that, because again, that which you are very comfortable with, you will keep on researching about it, and you'll keep on reading about it, and you'll keep on equipping yourself with more and more knowledge about, such that you even become they call it a thought leader. You become an expert. And now that is now what helps people to resonate with you and give you the opportunity to give them value, and they can start paying you for it.
Exactly. And especially whenever you're talking about savings, the savings and how to invest, how to not spend, and I also love that. I really like. I have known how to manage my finances through you. That is something so commendable.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, demonstrate what you can do. We have so many creators in the internet who even show us how certain phones operate. Like I have a phone and I have an iPhone.
Yes.
But do you know that I only know 70% of my phone?
There are many other things.
There are many other nitty-gritties in my own phone that I do not know about, and I come across someone on TikTok demonstrating how you can actually put your iPhone settings into so that they can give you best quality videos.
Yes.
It's just a 6 minutes tutorial, and that page has a lot of engagement. If you go to comment section, you find people saying that, oh my god, I've been having my phone for the past 4 years and I didn't know that setting existed. So just identify what you like doing, what you can do best, and then showcase it on your platforms. We will find it, we will find you, we will appreciate you, we will start liking you, because again, people engage people who they like, trust. How is it said? People buy from people who they like, know, and trust.
So know and trust.
Like we start by knowing who they know, like and trust.
Yes.
The know starts.
Yeah.
The know comes first. So we need to know you. How do we know you? By me seeing you every time on my phone whenever I'm scrolling. Then I start now getting value from what you're actually talking about. Then we go to the level of liking. I start liking this creator, which now leads to me following you. I start following.
Yes.
You're offering value to me. I've started liking what you're doing. I even start liking you as a person. Yeah. There are people who are just likable. I just see Steve passionately talking about how to invest and how to save, and I just, for some reason, I just like what you're doing, and I associate you with your own personality.
Yes.
Then now it brings us to the trust. So I start now trusting you. I can now give you a call and I tell you, I have this group of people. I would like you to come and talk to them about finances and how they can manage their finances. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
Now, let me also ask you, in our previous video, I went through our comment section on social media in one of our handles, and I saw someone ask, and I actually noted this question down for you because that is your line of expertise.
Yes.
Would you advise someone employed to start building a brand? And why?
Someone employed.
Yes.
The answer is a resounding yes.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, when you're employed, when you have a job, you get income.
Yes.
But when you start creating a personal brand, what you increase are the opportunities to make money.
And big money at that.
So you are actually increasing your opportunities. So you're not just stuck to that one way of making money.
Yes.
And you're broadening your scope in terms of what it is that you can do, what it is that people can associate with you.
Yeah.
So the more you build a brand, the more you make options. And these options will eventually equal to getting an opportunity to make more money, to advance your career. You can even look at it in terms of if you are to stick with the employment ladder, you can look at how you can create yourself opportunities to grow within the same environment.
Like for example, while at that, if you can have a personal brand about, you go and have a skill about, you learn about how AI works.
Yes.
And you understand the many different tools of AI that we have currently.
Yes.
And then now that will help you get an opportunity in your current working environment to actually even get a promotion on how you can operate their AI inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. So what we are talking about here is you are looking at yourself. So like Steven, I do 1, 2, 3. I'm in sales, for example.
Yes.
But I'm building a brand around, let's say, AI and technology. You see, so what I'm doing is that I'm increasing my ability to even create more value for my employer, and probably even outside. Okay. And the truth is, I know there are people who work for one organization for a very long time.
Yes.
But if you ask me, that is more or less like limiting your options, because there are so many other things that you can do.
Yes.
So the moment you create a brand, and it can be a brand around anything, it can be around what it is that you're doing there, and people get to know you. You can even talk of creating a brand within the work environment that you are in, or even externally. You see, and what that just does is that it makes you more valuable in the society, and you can actually be able to have more options. And let me tell you this, the more options you have, the better you become at what you're doing. Because you're not going to be doing it because it's the only thing you can do. You're going to be doing it because you have chosen to do it. And when you do something by choice, it becomes much better than doing something because it's a must do.
Just to pay bills.
Just to pay bills. So you'll even end up applying yourself better, even in the current situation, before you wait for that opportunity to come. When you know that you have the options, you're not being coerced or you're not being forced to be where you are, then it becomes an opportunity for you to apply yourself even in a greater way, knowing that I am doing this because I have chosen to do it, not because it's the only option I have.
Amazing. I love the answer. So I hope, Jen, we have answered your question.
Fantastic. And I hope you're going to create a personal brand for yourself.
So let's talk, because now they have had all this, but now there are those major mistakes that people do. You're so passionate, you want to try this out, you want to start actually, but then there are those few areas that will always hinder you as a person to start and build your own personal brand. One of it being fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of judgment.
Yes, fear.
And especially rejection. I think all the three, because personally, I really fear being rejected. I can never imagine
someone telling
me, okay, I take no's. I learned how to take no's. But of course, when you're starting something very, very new, you're going to start maybe, seeing like, oh my God, they have rejected my content. They are canceling my content because they think it's so controversial or something like that. Actually, that is where you should dig in very, 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 very deep, because actually controversial content tends to do well in the future.
And Will Smith once said that everything you have ever wanted is on the other side.
It's on the other side of yes.
And he was giving a situation where he was fearing so much, and he went on a bungee jumping exercise. And he says that when he was just about to jump, he felt like a load had been lifted off him of fear. And when he jumped like this, he was like, this is what I've been missing.
You don't want to be the only punk who doesn't jump out of this airplane. So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet, and somebody opens the door, and in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open, and you're looking out down to death. And they say, on 3, and they say, 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3, and you go, and you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. There's actually no reason to be scared. It only just ruins your day. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life.
And so that fear,
I think
it can be a fear of failure.
That is the same as me, because earlier on, before I started monetizing my content, I was so scared of, I think I've said this in our previous episodes, I was scared of me talking on camera with my original voice. I hated my voice. I used to hate how it used to sound. And the minute I wore that, I normally call it hard or rough skin. The tough skin. I realized that, wow, my breakthrough was on the other side of fear. Because the minute I overcame that fear of overthinking of how are people even perceiving my voice, how are they even taking me, how do they even see me? I don't know. They're just those fears that immediately I overcame them. I started seeing my light shine. The other type of fear we can talk about is the fear of remaining in the so-called 200 view, 200 no engagement somehow.
You know that you fear that people are not going to like your content, and you're not going to get so many followers. And to some extent, that is actually a good place to be when you're starting off. You know why? Because when you're still having very few viewers, then you have the opportunity to make as many mistakes as you can.
That is your chance to make as many mistakes as you can, as you learn from the mistakes.
Yes, because there are not so many people who are viewing you. And remember, when you're making those mistakes and you're only being exposed to, just maybe 10, 200 viewers, eventually when you become a big shot and people are going back to your, initial videos and content, people are actually not going to notice the mistakes. They're actually going to commend you for having started that far and that bad.
I actually have a question for them. Let me ask you a very, very simple question. Assume you did content today and it blew up. You had 10 million views, 5 million likes,
And it's your first video.
and 10,000 comments on your first video.
Yes.
Yet this video is full of so many mistakes. So the comment section is so full of people trying to tell you how bad you are, how can you even stammer, why are you stammering, go home and practice again.
Yes.
How would that make you feel? It would actually discourage you.
Yeah,
you will end up
forward.
you will end up deleting that video. You
Yes.
will end up feeling so cyberbullied. You will end up feeling so bad about your even about yourself. But if it has least engagements or low views,
Yes.
and then you've made such unavoidable mistakes, because again you're growing, it's your
learning.
beginning
Yeah.
stages, then you end up people, maybe one or two comments saying that maybe your sound has an issue. If one person says that and then 3 people say that, oh, you guys are doing an amazing job,
yes.
that would even give you more encouragement. So in your beginning stages, things are gonna be bad.
Yes,
They're gonna be bad.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about the fear of rejection, the fear of making
low
mistakes,
engagements.
low engagements, and of course the fear of failure.
Failure.
Because there are people who then fear that if I start this,
And then I'm 3 years in
and
without
I have
any
not
win.
succeeded.
Yeah.
And the truth is, there are some of us who will start and they will see results within a short period of time. There are some of us who will start and they will only see results 6 months into it.
Yeah.
There are some of us who are going to start and our brand is not going to shape up, in the right way,
Yeah.
up until maybe our 100th video, or our 60th engagement,
Yeah.
So the thing is, you shouldn't fear to fail, because again, if you fear to fail, then you will never start.
You will never
you know.
start,
And as you
yeah.
said, we have always said this in the previous episodes, that until, or rather, not unless you start, you're never going to get to the level where you're going to be perfect and you're going to be making tons and tons of money. And the good thing is, we have walked this journey, and we have actually seen that it is actually a journey that is doable. Eventually you will make money.
Yes.
Eventually you will make money. That is a guarantee.
It is.
It is actually a guarantee, because it is there. As long as you're going to remain consistent. As you have said,
Yeah.
and you're going to overcome all these types of fears. Now, speaking of fear, if we take fear away, then there's the other mistake of not being consistent.
That is you might overcome fear, but then again you're not consistent. You post today and tomorrow the next time you are seeing is August.
Yes.
What are we doing? Yeah, you need to be and by consistent we mean every day.
Every day.
Just the way you go to your boss's office every
Every
day.
day.
Just the way
Yeah.
you open your business in Yamakema every
Every
day.
day.
You need to have that online presence every day.
Yes.
Morning, afternoon, and evening, if possible.
Yes.
But if that sounds too much for you as a beginner, then go one video a day, then progress as you go.
True. So inconsistency is actually going to kill your personal brand, because then if people don't see that you see, consistency builds reliability.
Yeah.
So if people can't see that you can stick to what you're saying, then they will not know that you're a reliable person.
Out of sight.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
And people are not going to resonate with you. Now, there's another mistake that most people make, and that is copycat.
Oh yeah, you want to be like
copycats.
Liz, you want to be like Steve.
Yes.
Liz wants to be like so and so because wow, she does her content so good.
Yeah.
Maybe they are using that camera that I don't know the names of these cameras, but they are very expensive. And you're using your Camon 18.
Yes.
Now how are you going to be like me?
You cannot be.
You cannot.
be. Yeah. Or when you talk about copying, you can also copy content that you probably don't understand so much. And so we are going to see it. We are going to see through your content.
You're forcing
if you're forcing issues, we are going to see through it.
Yeah.
You're going to see that you're not very good at it. But so you need to make sure that don't just copy without building your own identity.
Okay, I would say this. Copying is allowed.
Yes.
But don't copycat. I don't know if that makes sense. This is what I mean.
Cut
Hear
and
me
paste.
out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
And even if you're copying something, you refine it with your own words.
With your own words,
As long as you have got the answer, now you refine it in your own words.
Yes.
That's how smart people do.
Yes.
Because you can never avoid copying. Even us as content creators, sometimes you learn, we call it learning from each other. Oh, I saw her oh, she put her camera in a certain angle and it actually brought out a very good shot. So I could try the same, but don't do exactly as they are doing. And that will also bring some crazy controversial topics, people rejecting or canceling your content because they are gonna see who you're trying to copy.
Yes.
Remember, in the internet, we share consumers, we share viewers. So my viewers are your viewers. If they see you, they also see me. So they will then know that I am trying to be like you.
Yes.
So they will trend to cancel me because they know who is the original content whose original content this is. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so here we need to build our own identity. So even if you are, let's call it inspiration. So if you're getting inspired by so and so, then don't go say exactly how they said it and the exact content that they actually put out there. If you feel that is something that they said and you also need to say it to your viewers, then be creative. Be creative around it. Be creative around it. Rebuild it. You can use it as reference, but then you build your own identity around it.
Yes.
All right. Yes. And then finally, which I love this mistake.
Tell us.
I love it because I think I have been a victim of it. Oh. And I know we have mentioned about it.
Okay.
That is waiting to be perfect before you start.
That is a killer of dreams, I'm telling you.
You know?
Because I think it also somehow got to me because again, my voice.
Yes.
I even tried to twang my voice in a certain way to sound like so and so, and that really didn't work for me. No. I failed terribly because now it's not me.
Yeah. So if you're waiting until you're perfect, if you're waiting until everything has lined up, that's a terrible mistake. And I know maybe you are there.
You will
you're
start at
listening
80.
to us, you know, and maybe this is you.
Yeah.
So the thing is, please, just start. Just start.
Perfection will
find you on the way. You know, and you don't have to wait until. And I don't know, we can say this a million times. You don't wait until things have aligned. You don't need to wait until you have all the skills. I will repeat this, and I know I've said it in this forum, that an example of Mark Zuckerberg, he says that ideas don't come fully formed. You get to understand them along the way. As you do them is when they get clearer and clearer and clearer. So as long as you know you're doing the right thing, then you just start. Perfection will find you on the way.
Yes.
You know? And you will thank us later because then you will actually start. And then tutakutana huko in the streets.
See you at the top.
See you at the top. See you in the streets of the internet, you know.
Yes.
And so I think at this point it will be good for us to do a recap.
Yes, remind us because we have had an amazing session.
Yes.
And maybe we can recap of what we have talked all through the episode so that take away this as you clock off this video.
All right. So we started by saying that you need to identify your niche. As you're building your personal brand, know exactly what it is that you want to be known for. So that you're not everywhere. You're not all over. You're not talking to us about everything.
Everything. You're talking about health, making money. You're talking about music. You can't do everything. Yeah.
So pick a niche and stick to it.
Yeah. The other thing is choose a platform. You know, so if you have chosen to work with YouTube as your main place of display of your skills, then work on it. Now at this point we also need to say that it doesn't mean that when you say pick a platform that is the only thing that is the only platform you're going to place your content in. You just have to say that my content is primarily built for this platform, because when you look at it, each platform has its own ways of displaying content, and there's no way, not unless you do what is known as repurposing, then if you take a video and you want to post it in all the social media platforms in the same format, then you will not actually get very good engagement. So pick a platform. So for us, our key platform is YouTube, and then now we're using the other platforms, you know, maybe to hype up the engagement, but our key place of content is YouTube, for example, right? And also a platform also is very, very much associated with your personality.
True.
For example, someone like me, I see Instagram as a platform where I post I don't post business. I don't post anything to do with what I do. I just post my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I find Instagram suitable for that. That is me. I didn't say that that's how it's supposed to be, but that is me according to my own personality and according to what I like.
Okay.
So I do TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and recently LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you can do the same. There are people who don't like Facebook. I also don't like it so much. The platforms that I really like are TikTok, YouTube, and and Instagram. Yeah. So identify that is also very, very important. Don't do things that you feel you're forcing. Yeah, that's what we are trying to avoid.
All right. Then the other one is creating content and go in and create.
Whether
You can
faceless, face forward,
Yes.
it's up to you.
Create. Just identify which you're most comfortable with. Go in and create as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, when you do that, you can't create and keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
No things in your draft.
Yeah. Any video in your draft is not helping anyone. It's
Yeah.
not helping you as the creator, and it's not helping me as the consumer.
consumer.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
no need of keeping that video in the drafts. Ikikaa sana isipite one day. Put it there, but ensure that you have edited and let it out there
Let
for
it
people
out
to
there.
see.
All right.
Yeah.
Then of course, post consistently.
Exactly.
Posting consistently is your game changer.
That is it.
Because it is what helps you to build that personal brand. As people continue engaging with you, they continue resonating with you, they understand what it is that you're saying, they understand your style of doing it,
Exactly.
you're saying it, they understand what you stand for, they understand what you are advocating for. If it's a business, they start seeing how you're doing it, what it is that you're bringing onto your screen, and that way people start resonating with you. And finally, you need to start engaging with other
others.
creators.
Yeah.
Engage with other creators, engage with consumers, engage with people around you in your area of expertise.
Also, you are not Mark Zuckerberg. Ebu respond to comments.
Yes.
Respond to comments. Those are people who have shown really
Interest in what you're
and
doing.
very much support, because commenting actually boosts the engagement in your platform.
Yes.
You find that someone is just a beginner in this game, but akona 100 comments, but she has not responded even to one.
Yes.
So why then are you here? So engage with others. Show that you care. We will also show you that we care about you.
All right. Okay. So the final question I'm going to ask, and I may be asking you, but I'm also asking our viewers.
Yeah.
If someone searched for your name online, what will they find? And that is, I think, the biggest question that we need to leave our audience for,
Please
or other
comment.
audience with.
Yeah.
If someone searched your name today, what are they going to find? And that is, once you answer that, you will end up understanding whether you have a personal brand or you are yet to have one.
Let me give you guys my handles. You can go search me up, and then you tell me in the comments what you know me for, what you have known me for.
Yes.
I won't even say it here. I've said it so many times. So if you're here with us from our first episode, you definitely know what Liz does, and you know what Steve does.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave my handle on the screen, my TikTok and TikTok and YouTube. You're gonna go and visit my platform, then come back to this video, leave a comment, an honest one, and tell me who am I.
All right. I'm also going to do the same. Please tell me what brand is out there associated with Steve.
We really appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so much.
If today's conversation changed the way you think about money, careers, or even making money online, be sure to follow us, click that subscribe button, leave us a very honest comment so that you don't miss any episode that comes your way.
Share this with anyone who's still stuck with believing that the CV is the only way. And remember, employment is an option, but freedom is a choice.
Until next time.